This is so sad, and it reminds me of many born-again TIs. But first, please help my humble channel to grow. Like, subscribe, share, comment, any combination thereof. Why?
Cause you're beautiful on the inside and on the outside. That's why.
So, for most of my life, I struggled with homosexuality. Most of my life, I thought it was sin, and I tried to leave the lifestyle and wasn't really able to successfully. Until the last 4 years, I've been abstinent for over 4 years, and really the temptation is pretty minimal. That's all to the glory of God. But I had joined this group called Homosexuals Anonymous, which is a 12-step group that kind of approaches homosexuality as an SUO addiction. And so that lasted for a little while. And I gave up. And I remember I went to this big gay meeting in Palm Springs, California. Some people call Palm Springs, California the gay Mecca. And I ran into another guy from there. And I was like, wow, so you left the meeting too? He was like, yeah. He said, whenever I leave the gay lifestyle, he said, I can't make any money. I stop making money. He says, when I'm in the lifestyle, I make a ton of money. And that was one of his main motivations for going back to the lifestyle, was money. And it reminds me of many born-again TIs, because in spite of being a victim / target / abusee of this evil and wicked deep state program, they still refuse to pay their tithes and offerings to God, because they put money above God. And you think that what that money can do for you is more important than what God can do for you if you feed his people, if you take care of his people. Meaning, Jesus said, what you do unto the least of my people, you do unto me. And he tells you who these people are. He said, I was thirsty and you gave me to drink, hungry and you fed me, homeless and you took me into your home. I didn't have clothes and you clothed me. I was in prison, I was in jail, and you visited me. You could put homeless folks in most of those categories. What you do unto these folks with your money, and most of you born-again TIs, you're doing nothing. That's like walking past a person who's getting their ass beat, and you do nothing. And you say, well, I didn't do anything wrong. No, the fact that you did nothing is evil. You let someone get beaten in front of you. You not paying your tithes and offerings when people are homeless, starving to death in third world countries, and you're saying you can't afford to do it? You're a TI. You can't afford not to pay tithes and offerings to the Lord in the form of alms to the poor in this way. It just makes me sad when I see TIs not doing it, because they're not seeing the glory of God and the promises. Isaiah 58, Ezekiel 16, Matthew 25, Psalms 41, throughout the Bible, there's so many promises for you, those of you who give to the poor and help the poor. But most of you will go to one misinterpreted verse, which is, if they don't work, they shouldn't eat. It didn't say if they can't work. Most folks who are homeless or on welfare can't work, whether it's psychologically, emotionally, like me, physically, or any combination. But what the church says is, they don't work, they shouldn't eat, they should just starve to death. You're cutting yourself out of so many blessings by failing to pay these tithes and offerings and make sure they go to the poor, beautiful born-again TIs. I adjure you, start paying them. God bless.